Hi everyone and welcome to today's webinar. Today's webinar will be on the customer profile and all the widgets which you can find on this profile. So to find your customer profile, you will need to go to Customers, List Customers, and then here in the search function you can type in the customer's name. You can either click on the search button or press enter, and then your list will filter according to the customers with these details. So here you can see your customer's accounting code, the type, whether it's a company or individual, your customer name, data accounts listed to this customer, contact details, as well as the balance outstanding or the credit due in this case. To go to the customer profile, you can click on this button here, and that will bring you to this screen. From this screen, you will be able to solve most of your customer queries, as there is a lot of information here. This can even be a bit overwhelming the first time that you see it. So let's take a look from the top. Here we have your data protection. You can verify your customer ID, create a ticket, quickly create a sales lead, and even send a message. Here in the banner section, you'll be able to see banners to notify you of important things happening, such as the account being suspended, the customer cancelling, or even when this is a sub-account of another master account. In this case, we can see that this is a sub-account or a customer who is linked to a specific reseller. So let's go through all these widgets. This will be a summary of all the widgets and not an in-detail session. But if you have any questions afterwards or you need some more explanation, you are more than welcome to ask on the right hand side in the chat section, or you can always send an email to support@Datatool or phone into the office. So first we have our accounts details. This will give you all the details regarding the customer. Here we can see our account code, primary contact details, as well as the physical address. From here, you can also send the customer a reset password for the customer portal, request the information update for account details, as well as request a rating. So they will be able to rate your service from 1 to 5 stars, and you will then need to acknowledge the rating, and the rating will then later be listed on their profile. If we click on this edit button, you are able to see all the account information, and you will also be able to add or remove or change the information. Remember that your accounting code is never allowed to change for your customers. Even if I click on the generate button again, you will see that it goes back to the original code. Then we have the address details tab. You can enter your address, click on the show on map button, and then your map will be pointed with the address. Here we can also see the GPS position. Then we have our contacts. Each customer profile will need a primary contact. To add another contact, click on Add. If this is the primary contact, click on Yes. If this is not, click on No. You can always determine which notification each one of the contacts on the profile should receive. If they should not be receiving billing or usage information, you can take that out and then click on the Add Customer. You'll be able to do the same when you edit a customer. So you have your primary contact's information and then determine whether they should receive all notifications or not. Next we have the portal login. Your client portal username will usually be your customer's accounting code or their email address. You will also be able to manually reset their password if you need to, or otherwise you can just send them the reset password link. Then we have our billing tab. So you will be able to determine whether this customer you will need to use the default system settings, or whether he is a special customer, for example, a company who pays 30 days after invoice. So then in the case of that, you'll be able to say days till invoice due, and you can say 30 days until the invoice is due, or whatever your arrangement with the customer is. Then we have Sage 1. You will only be able to see this tab if your Datatool instance is integrated with the Sage 1. If your Sage 1 is integrated with DataTool, it is very important that you do not change this ID for your customer. This will cause lots of syncing errors and will in the end just ensure that you have a bunch of I-rated customers. Next, we have the cancellation tab. In the case that your customers want to cancel, you can add your cancellation date here, your reason for your cancellation, which would usually be a ticket number and a short reason as to why the customer is cancelling, or you can even suspend the customer. If your company is currently making use of a new cancellations module, please refer to the cancellations webinar, which was done a week or two ago, as well as the suspensions webinar. It's important to note that after you make any changes to any of these details, that you should always click on the Save Changes button. So next we have a list of our data accounts. So here you will be able to see the customer's triple POE details. If you click on the Edit Account button, you will see the username. If you hover over the password, you will be able to view the password. And then you can also see the data product. You can add a cancellation date for this specific product. You can add your concurrent sessions, IPs, queue routers, and your authentication always needs to be on except if the customer is using this service. From here you can also pinpoint an address to a specific data account. You can determine the pricing, whether the pricing should be on default product pricing or custom pricing. You have your data limits to determine whether the customer would like to enable the auto top-ups, as well as if it is yes, what is the auto top-ups increments, the top-up limit, and whether notifications should be sent to the customer. You will also be able to add custom radius attributes, view an order trial of any changes made, as well as test the service of the customer. Remember, after making your changes, click on Save Changes. Then next we have our data usage. So if we click on this View button, it will open a new tab. Here you will be able to switch between the different data accounts linked to the specific customer. You will also be able to view information such as the amount of percentage data used, on what package this customer is, set up the auto top-up settings, add a top-up for the customer, which will look like this, view a top-up summary, as well as view the recurring billing. You can also use email or SMS the usage from here, or swap between different months to view different months' usage details. So when we go back to the customer profile, so right under your data usage section, you will see data top-ups. This will be a list of all top-ups which have either been requested by admin users or the customer self. You will be able to see the amount of gig requested as well as what the pricing was. Then under your data accounts, you have your active data sessions, previous data sessions, and package changes. So active data sessions will show you the current active data sessions for the customer, while its previous data sessions will show you the last time that this specific data account was active. Then we have the package changes. Even though you are able to change the package from here, it is advised that you rather do the package changes through this section, as it will allow you to keep better track of who made a package change on what date, etc. To do a package change, you will simply click on Add, select the relevant data account, select the new product, from which date should this be activated, add any additional comments, for example ticket numbers or the customer phoned in, determine the pricing, so once again default or custom pricing, the same for the top-ups, and then just click on Submit. So here we can see the package change is now listed, and once it is the 1st of November, the package change will be implemented. So under our accounts details, we have customer contact details. This will take you to the Contacts tab, which will allow you to add or change contact details for your customer. And underneath that you have the customer GPS location details. This will pull through from your address which you have inserted for your customer, show it on the map, as well as give you the GPS position. So if we go back to the right hand side, underneath your data top-ups you will have your phone usage. This will be related to VoIP and whether you use the VoIP services. For more information regarding VoIP, you can always refer to our VoIP webinar, which was done a few weeks ago. Then under your phone usage, you have your usage notification setups or settings. So from here you can see what notification or at what percentage the customer will be informed of their usage. So according to ICASA, I think that is 50%, 80% and 90% which customers need to be informed, but we have a guide for that on our website. So you can always add additional usage notifications here. You can always add a trigger or a daily notification. If you add a trigger, you will need to add this percentage in here, and once you click on add, we can see here it appears. It will then be SMS'd and emailed to this details here. Remember, the SMS functionality will only work if you have it enabled on your data tool. Next to our usage notification settings, we have our data transfer. This is also a part of the ICASA regulations as well as the data rollover. For more information on these three, you can refer to the guides on our website or watch the webinar which was done last week. So the data transfer will just allow you to transfer data between customers who are on capped packages and on the same network. So two customers on your network which are using capped services will be able to transfer data to one another. Then we also have the data rollover, so their customers' data will roll over and not be expired at a certain stage. Then we have our speed test results. So your customers will be able to log into their customer portal, they will be able to do a speed test, and those results will come through to here. Together with our phone usage, we have our phone VoIP lines, so you'll be able to add all your VoIP lines here. So back to the left hand side, here we have billing details. You can quickly request an update for your customers for your billing details here, or you can amend it yourself. You will be able to link a specific high site to the customer, determine the default due date settings, and then also what the customer's preferred payment method is. Remember, if your customer chooses to pay via debit order, that you will need to have the proper debit order mandates in place. Should your customer choose to pay via credit card, you will need to ensure that you have the proper payment gateways in place, such as VCS, Sage Pay, PayFast, PayPal, and Zapper and SnapScan. If you are making use of VCS, you will need to ensure that your customers have verified their credit cards. Then lastly, you will be able to determine whether top-ups should be disabled when the customer is overdue. After making your changes, click on the Save Changes button. Then we have suspension details. These suspension details will only be applicable if you are making use of the new suspensions module. So if we click on this edit button, you'll be able to determine whether you should use group settings, whether suspension should be disabled or not, days still overdue, second notification, until suspension, as well as add labels or a suspension arrangement note. So your suspension arrangement note will be a payment arrangement which you make with your customer, so you can quickly add a short note to say your customer will be paying the outstanding fees over the next 3 months, etc. For more information, please refer to our guide on the website or the webinar which has been done on the suspensions module. Then here we have the customer quote section. From here you can quickly add a quote. view previous quotes, the quote number, the quote date, whether it was accepted or rejected, as well as the amount. You can also go to the original sales lead or quickly email this quote to the customer again. From your quotes, eventually through the lead to receipt process, the job card will generate. So here we can see the job card number, the job type, the status, the scheduled time of the installation, which team did the installation, and then you will also be able to download the job card. Then we have our help desk tickets. So our help desk tickets will show you all the open tickets, how old the tickets are, what date the ticket was submitted, which department, which category, and also to which person this ticket is assigned. We'll show you whether the ticket has been assigned or whether even if the customer has replied. To view more information on the ticket, you can simply click on this little blue button and then it will open the ticket for you. So going back to our customer profile, so underneath your help desk tickets, here's your customer rating section. So your customers will also be able to rate your service from 1 to 5 stars from their customer portal. 5 stars being the best. That would be great to always receive those. You will be able to see the date, the time, the rating you have received, and the person who has acknowledged this rating. You will also be able to see according to which ticket number or job card this rating relates to. Then on this side we have our recurring billing section. So your recurring billing will tell you what your customer will be billed for each month. It's important to note that once you add your data package, that your recurring billing will be automatically populated. So please do not add your data package and then manually add to your recurring billing. If you need to manually add to your recurring billing, this will be for items such as IPs or rental contracts, etc. Then underneath our recurring billing, we have our age analysis. So to see this update button, you will need a certain permission. Otherwise this becomes quite server intensive if all your debtors clerk click on the update button all day every day. So on your age analysis, you will be able to view your invoice numbers, credit notes, as well as the dates, the amount, and the status. The status will either be paid, partially paid, unpaid, or overdue. Then you will also have your current 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and 120 plus days to see how far outstanding your customers are. To email the statement to the customer, you can click on Email Statement. If there is a specific help desk ticket relating to this request, you can choose the specific ticket from this list. If not, you can just simply email the customer the statement. You will also be able to view the statement and view your transaction report. Then we have a list of all payment receipts. So your payment receipts will show you a list of all payments which have been made by your customer. It will show you the date, into which bank account, and the reference used by the customer, as well as the amount which was paid. The same will go for your credit card transactions. You will see a date, a status, the invoice number, as well as the amount. Let's go a bit up to our messages sent. So this is our last section here in the middle. So messages sent, you can either quickly send a message from here. So you can add your cell phone number or the cell phone number, the email address, and the message. Then you can click on Send Message and the message will go through to the customer. Then here you will be able to see a list of all messages which have been sent to the customer. So this first button will determine or will tell you whether the customer has read this email or not, or this message. If it is a question mark, it means message not yet viewed. If there is a green tick mark, it means that the customer has viewed this message, and it will even give you the time and the date. To view this specific message, you can click on the little blue button, and here we can see the message that was sent to the customer. Then lastly, to resend this message to the customer, you can click on this button to resubmit it. Okay. So now we go to our customer notes and our data notes. So for data notes, you will be able to add any notes which is data related. For example, I phoned the customer at 3 p.m. Customer did not pick up. You can also determine whether this should be a pop-up message. A good example of a pop-up message would be to inform your other data clerks or your colleagues that you are currently assisting this customer with a query and that they should not suspend or cancel this customer's account. Should you add this message as a pop-up message, every time that the customer profile is open, you will be able to see this message in red at the top. You can simply click on it for it to disappear. So all data notes will be on this side. You will be able to see date, timestamp, auto pop-up, as well as who submitted the message. Then we have our customer notes, which will be, for example, entering a section to say that this is where the customer installation was, or the customer was unhappy with something specific, or what the details is for the router or the connection, etc. Then let's quickly finish up with the left hand side. So we have our Sage 1 integration ID. You will only see this if your Datatal instance is integrated with Sage 1. It will show you the specific customer's Sage 1 ID, the last time it's synced, as well as whether it is an error status. If it is an error status, please contact the Datatal support team to assist you in sorting this problem out. And then we also have a customer audit trail. So here we can see things such as added customer contact, deleted customer contact, suspended the customer, unsuspended the customer. So this will just give you a breakdown of all changes which have been made on this customer profile. It will also tell you who made the changes. And if you click on this button here, you will be able to see what it was before and what it was afterwards. So let's go back to the right hand side. So here you'll be able to add any additional address details by clicking on the add button. You can add the address title, the address, click on mark on map, and it will give you the location here as well as the GPS position. This is especially useful when you have one customer with, for example, a data account at home and a data account at the office, and you want to mark which account is where. Then we have attachments. This is quite useful to add photos of your installation, signed job cards, etc.